What's going on, everyone? I'm Alex. This is Derek, likes to be called DJ. This is SK Outdoors. So basically, the plan for this video, obviously we just did a little intro, who we are, but we're basically going to talk about how old we were when we started hunting, where we've all hunted.
Kind of a review of what happened last year and what kind of made us want to start this YouTube channel. And then kind of what you can expect from the channel as far as, doing property improvements. We have a few permission pieces, kind of gear videos on, what we're shooting, the stuff we're taking in the tree with us. And then obviously there'll be hunting videos once we get closer to the hunting season. We got one video coming up of Alex building his new arrows for 2026. Later on down the road,
Those are sick.
Later on down the road, I'll put out an arrow video for arrows I'm gonna build. Currently trying to find a bow that I want to shoot for 2026.
I still rock the Hoyt RX-7. Currently at the bow shop right now, getting a new string on her. So basically, I remember hunting super young, basically going and sitting with my dad every opening day. It was always for gun. So typically when I started hunting, it was basically just straight gun. I finally was able to get out by myself around that 13, 14 range and be able to harvest a pretty nice whitetail. It turned into that of basically gun hunting with my dad on our family farm right behind his house until I was probably about 16-ish. And I was able to start hunting over at my mother's parents' place, and that's around the time I started bow hunting. Basically, my first bow was actually a PSE. I think I bought it off Craigslist just to kind of get myself in there, and obviously I've carried on with a lot of bows in my life, but basically on the aspect of that, I think I met my wife in 2017, 2018-ish, and basically was able to acquire a permission that my father-in-law got a permission to the adjacent property, and then now current state, I'm able to still hunt both grandparents' properties, father-in-law permission, and I actually just was able to pick up some permission out here by my house last year. Was able to kill a pretty good amount of bucks in my lifetime so far. Nothing huge besides 2 years ago I was able to score a 158 and a quarter. You can see that on our TikTok. DJ made I just called you DJ.
Ha!
That Derek made a video of.
That Alex dubbed the Freak.
Yep.
Yeah, so I started hunting around 10. My dad used to take me out for youth hunt all the time. That was kind of the only time I could really hunt until I got I think 12 or 13. Then my grandpa allowed me to go out and hunt the permission property that he had, that my uncle and my dad had already been hunting. They've hunted it for 15 years before I was able to start hunting it. Never really had any great successes. Had a couple on youth hunts. That was about it. Shot a little Dinker 8, I think in 2019, 2020, somewhere around that COVID area. I was pretty pumped. It was the first deer I'd shot in, 7, 8 years, something like that. Talking to old Alex over here, and he's like, "Why are you shooting babies?" It was a pretty small one. Wasn't too excited.
Scored a good 60.
Yeah. I was excited, but you know how that all goes.
Yeah, being a friend, I got to give you crap for it and send pictures of bigger.
Of monsters.
Yeah.
And so, come around 2023, Alex getting all pumped up to go hunting for the 2023 season. He's like, "Hey, after bow season," because I'd only ever gun hunted.
Well, I think it was a thing to where I reached out to you because I tagged out and there was still a good amount of monsters on the property. So I'm like, "Hey, get your butt out here. Let's make something happen."
Yeah, so I think I went out one time with a crossbow. That was actually his dad's crossbow that he let me borrow. Tried shooting one, missed. It was probably should have taken the shot, but
yeah, we were geeked up though.
But buck fever kicks in and things happen. That was right at the end of bow season. So then we jumped into the gun season. I think it was like November 19th or something. We were out there sitting in the ground blind. Alex is over here, gassing the place up, He's like, all right, dude, I'm sorry. I really got to go poop. So he gets up, goes out of the blind, does his business. But as he's leaving, he's like, hey, you're shooting a big one. It's going to happen.
Right when I get back.
It's going to happen. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Me thinking the hunt's ruined. I'm just like, I guess we're just going to sit out here. Sure enough, though, comes back. I hear him unzipping the blind. I'm like, shh. He's like, what? And I'm like, dude, there's a tank coming across the field. He's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. Gets in the blind, sits down. Sure enough, it's a 115, 120-ish 8-point that I was able to successfully put on the ground. And that kind of
picture here.
that kind of fueled the fire to want to actually get into hunting and the processes that go into it and stuff like that.
All the prep it takes.
Yeah. And then going into 2024, all summer long, Alex is like, buy a bow, buy a bow, buy a bow, buy a bow, don't gun hunt, buy a bow. So then we ended up going to the local archery shop. I ended up getting a Bear Adapt, the hunting public one that's ready to hunt. And I was actually able to put another deer down on my in-laws' property. It was a decent buck for my first one.
The point that Derek's getting here is that's kind of where all of our hunting together collided.
Right.
It was a thing to where going into the 2025 season, we went ham at Grandma's property and new tree stands, food plots, blinds, just everything to make it as good as possible to bring many deer in as possible and keep them there.
Yeah, and it worked.
Right, and I say, and that basically brought in a buck we called picture frame, annoying 8, split brow 9, Big 10, and the Big 10 150 all day long.
And a smaller 10.
And a smaller 10. Yep, that's very true. That my buddies ended up taking towards the end of rut.
Yeah, thinking that it was the
Big 10.
The Big
and
10
ended up not being because Big 10 ended up popping up on camera a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
So basically, he shot one that was about 130. About 150 was out there running around still, and no one ever got him. So hopefully, he's out there this year. But basically, what led into that hunting season started off slow. Nothing really exciting happened. Then one night, me and the old lady were driving around here and seen some monsters. One night we seen a Big 7 that we ended up pursuing pretty hardcore. Derek ended up
I had a chance at him,
getting a chance and
we'll put out
not prevailing.
I'll put out a video, kind of the story of Big 7 at some point.
Right. And basically after that, the next night we ended up seeing a even bigger frame, heavier buck, but we were in my diesel. Video was shaking like crazy. I was trying to look through the spotting scope. Couldn't really see. All you can really see in the video is
you could see the mass, and that
frame.
was about it. He called me. He's like, I got to find out who owns this property. We have to get on here. There is some big deer, and
luckily it was right next to my house.
Yeah,
so basically within the next week I was out at the homeowner's house, was able to secure some permission. We ended up getting out there that next week on a Thursday. Derek was videotaping. 10, 20 minutes after light, a monster walked right under us and couldn't get a shot.
It was so quick, we didn't even realize that he was there. We heard a couple leaves break and looked, and all we saw was body, and we're like, oh.
And then all of a sudden you see frame for a split second, and
he's gone.
He's gone.
But we did end up seeing a couple other bucks out there that same day. Lots of potential bucks for maybe this year, maybe even the following year.
I say this permission piece is last year alone, 2025 season, probably 140s, 150s. Super nice buck was taken off in youth season, and then another really nice 9-point was taken out about a week after we got permission.
Yeah, that teased
to the adjacent property.
Teased me for probably 3 hours while I was sitting there just on the opposite side of a field chasing some does, and ended up getting killed, I think, the next day from that.
We were able to get some good encounters, but never make anything happen. Learned a lot about the property for the first year. Good pinch points, funnels, everything like that. Just planning on putting out a good amount of content for you guys. I think Derek's planning on trying to get a a video every about 3 weeks to start off until hunt season gets a little bit closer.
Yeah, the plan is hopefully, every 3 weeks or so, at least once a month.
Right.
And then trying to post on TikTok at least once a week. Nothing too crazy.
Go follow.
Yeah. Everything's kind of different as far as what the tags are because everyone has used everything already. So there'll be a link in the video or in the description for Instagram, TikTok. At some point, if people are interested, we will too have merch. Kind of got these shirts going. They're a little different. Hats, stuff like that.
My amazing wife made those.
Yeah, all made by Haley, Alex's wife.
Yeah, so basically on that was a little bit of an intro, basically going through everything on what we plan for this channel. And the aspect of that, I think we're gonna end it out there. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. SK out.